Hey everybody, welcome back to the Captain Whitey Show, where we hit 600 subs a little while ago, and if you've been a fan of the show for a while now, you know what that means. It means Q&A time. I sent out a call to arms to you guys to ask me questions. You asked me some awesome questions, so now I'm going to read them all for you. Not just the questions, I'm going to answer them too, because that's the kind of guy I am. Ding! I feel like I should have just added the sound effect in, but I guess I can make it with my face. I don't know. Let's get started. Alrighty, so my first question comes from Cody Movie Mania, and he says, what are your top 5 movies of the year so far? Well, this year has been brutal, but we have gotten some good movies. Say top 5 of the year so far. I'll start from 1 just because you all know my 1 is Kingsman. Then my 2 is It Follows. Then number 3 goes to probably Cinderella. Then number 4, I would probably give that to SpongeBob. I really like SpongeBob. You know what? I'll give number 4 to Furious 7, which I saw last night and really enjoyed. Then I'll give 5 to SpongeBob. So, yeah, Kingsman, It Follows, Cinderella, Furious 7, and SpongeBob. My next question comes from the lovely Austin Gaby, a very good friend of mine who you should check out. I'm done shouting him out for his Oscar bet, but I'll still shout him out for this. Go check him out. Basically, his question is, what is your favorite art house film? And I'd say my favorite would probably be A Clockwork Orange, because I love A Clockwork Orange. Something like that. I know you love The Seventh Seal, Austin. I love The Seventh Seal too. Also, I know a lot of people count Drive as one, and I'd say Drive is very much an art house film, and I really like that one, so I'd say those 3. There's a ton of great art house films. Those are just the 3 that come to mind now. My next friend is from a good friend, The Lawn Gnome. He's a really cool YouTuber. You should also check it out. His question is, what is your favorite Dragon Ball series? And within that series, what is your favorite saga? I'm a Dragon Ball Z man myself. Dragon Ball is awesome. Never saw GT, but I'm a Dragon Ball Z man myself. And my favorite saga is either the Cell Saga or the Frieza Saga. Because I love the Frieza Saga because that's the first time Goku goes Super Saiyan. It's also the saga where Vegeta is really at his evil hero kind of climax. But at the same time, the Cell Saga is so good, and I love Cybermen, I love Cell, I love how it's the one where Gohan was the ultimate. He was like the ultimate, so if you had a gun to my head, I'd say the Cell Saga, just because I like Cell more than Frieza, and I love Frieza, so that's just saying how much I like Cell, but yeah, that. My next question comes from Adrian, and he has a few of them. His first one is, why is Lila just sitting there in your bed licking herself? Because she's a cat. That's what cats do. I know that now because I own a cat. His next question is Pig Knight still good for battles? He's still good for battles, but Embor is still better. His third question is favorite YouTubers? I have a few, for movies, definitely Schmoes Know, because I love the Schmoes Know movie show. I'm going to be watching that when I edit all the videos I make today. Like, I'm going to be watching that. I love Schmoes Know. As far as gaming goes, JonTron is just... Oh my god, I love JonTron so much. One of my big inspirations, though, actually, for the way I carry myself in my show, is ProJared. I love ProJared. I think he is one of the most intelligent guys in video games, but he's also one of the most entertaining guys in video game YouTubing. So I love them. Of course, you all know I love Amanda Lee from Lee and Lee. I have a major crush on her, and at the same time, I think her English dubs are incredible. Like, whenever she has a video out, I get excited because I'm like, oh, she has such a pretty voice, I'm so excited. So, those are some of my favorites. Of course, I have all my friends too, but I don't know, none of them made a Best Dicks in Gaming vid. And then his last question is, why aren't you more famous? My answer is, I don't know. I should be on the talk shows. That way. You can't see it if I go that way. Only that way. I don't know. It comes with time, I guess. I don't need famousness, I just want videos to come out for people to enjoy them. That's my goal. Got in advance. Monkey Kingdom? Who wants to see Monkey Kingdom early? I don't want to see Monkey Kingdom early, no thank you. I thought that was for something important. Why does Disney make like 10 monkey movies a year? Feels like Disney always makes a monkey movie. Ugh, so many monkey movies. The next question comes from random Mr. 411, and his first question is, would you ever do a collaborative review with someone? And I don't do collaborative reviews, because I think reviews should just be shared with yourself. Really, with collaborations, I just do top 10 lists. In fact, there's one on the way. with Chase from a few mixed reviews. He yells a lot. And his second question is, what was your favorite cereal growing up as a kid? I like Fruity Pebbles. I still like Fruity Pebbles. Those are the bomb. You give me a box of Fruity Pebbles, a full one, it's gone in a minute. Just like that plane. Except that plane will be gone in like an hour. Because fucking planes. Our next question comes from Frank L., who's been a very loyal subscriber throughout a lot of this. He's been with me for a long time, so I, once again, thank you for subscribing, everyone. But Frank has been here for a long time, so he gets special treatment because he's cute. I'm just kidding. Well, I'm not. But anyways, he has a few questions. His first one is, what's your favorite video game? My favorite video game of all time is that one. Sonic Adventure 2. I know it's flawed. I know it's not perfect. Screw you, though. It's fun. I like it. I play it a lot. I play it all the time. I go, ah! I play it. Ah! Then his next one is, what is your favorite B movie of all time? I looked this up because I don't watch B movies a lot. I know I enjoyed in the worst way possible Mega Shark vs. Giant Octopus. But if I had to choose a favorite B movie of all time, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Does that count? Because Killer Clowns from Outer Space is amazing in the worst way possible. Then his last question is, you rocked your cover of Tears in Heaven last time. Would you be super cool and sing Layla pretty please? For you guys, I will do it. Once again, I'll just do the first verse. And also, I don't know how to play that song, so I'll look it up for you. That's how dedicated I am. I will look it up for you, and I will play it. What you do when you get lonely, with no one waiting by your side. You've been running and hiding much too long. You know it's just your foolish pride. Layla, you got me on my knees, Layla. I'm begging, darling, please, Layla. Darling, won't you ease my worried mind? So that's kind of it. I can play the intro kind of. No, I can't. But yeah, there you go. Alrighty, so our next question comes from yet another awesome subscriber. I'm talking Ian Bolanek. He asks a few questions. Go on and review all of them. I actually just said review because Ram just sent me a Facebook message saying review. Stop sending me messages, Ram. Anyways, he asks, what are your favorite underrated movies? I have a lot of favorite underrated movies to the point where I want to start a segment on the show called Underrated Gems. I'm just so lazy that I haven't been able to do it. But some of my favorites include, I always bring up Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny because no one talks about Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny, and it is so funny. It is so funny. Speaking of funny, another good musical comedies always go underrated. Walk Hard. Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. It's kind of a parody of Walk the Line, and John C. Reilly plays this rock star, and he just parodies every, different, time periods. He does a lot of that, and he's actually a really good singer. I actually have the soundtrack, so that's a really good one. And one that I just thought of last night is Nowhere Boy. No one's seen Nowhere Boy. You know Aaron Taylor Johnson, the guy who played Kick-Ass? Yeah, he played John Lennon in Nowhere Boy. It's about John Lennon. Why hasn't anyone seen Nowhere Boy? That movie's good. Now, his next question is, what is your favorite documentary feature film? I'm not huge on documentary feature films. I'm more of a documentary series guy. I love nature documentaries. That's my deal. Give me Blue Planet or Planet Earth any day. Or even, my favorite is Walking with Dinosaurs. I've seen that documentary so many times, but those are series. As far as feature films go, I don't know. May make me sound like a jerk, but I liked the Bill Maher one, Religulous. I know, it's a jerk thing to say, but I kind of agree with him on a lot of that stuff, so I guess that one? That shouldn't stir up any controversy at all. Just remember, I said Walking with Dinosaurs, that one. Another question he has is, do you own any movies from the Criterion Collection? I own too many movies from the Criterion Collection. A few years ago, when I was working at Flatirons Hyundai, before that wasn't Flatirons Hyundai anymore, we had a Barnes & Noble, literally a minute away from the dealership I worked at. And I remember I'd get my paycheck, I would go straight to Barnes & Noble for those Criterion sales where they're all 50% off, and I would waste all my money on Criterion. I have so much Criterion, I need to stop. That being said, I still don't have City Lights, which is my favorite Chaplin movie ever, so I need to get City Lights, and I don't have Seven Samurai. So, Even with all that, I'm still a disgrace. And he has one last question. What is the one place you would like to travel to that you've never visited yet? Japan. Because, I mean, look at me, guys. Like, they make everything I like. I see people have vlogs where they're going to Japan, and I'm like, that's where I need to be. That's where I need to be. If I was better with my Japanese lessons, I'd be there now. Well, Amiibos came out and ruined my bank account, so I wouldn't be there now, but I'd be there in spirit. Our next questions come from Classic Rock 2017. His first question is favorite horror movie of all time. I'd say Jaws. Definitely Jaws. Like, 100%. Runner-up being The Shining. So those two, definitely. Then his second question is, what do you think is Jake Gyllenhaal's best performance? Nightcrawler. Like, it still baffles me he got nothing for Nightcrawler. Because he was so just reinventive in Nightcrawler, and I'm still smashing my head that he didn't get anything, because that's ridiculous, because he was amazing in that. And then his last one is, what do you think is the worst movie to ever win Best Picture? I love that question. Because there's a little movie that won Best Picture that is not only did it not deserve Best Picture, it's a bad movie, and that is Crash. Crash is a bad movie. I hate when movies preach to me. It's fine if a movie shares a viewpoint with me, but the second that's all Crash is. It's just preachy, and it's bad. It's bad. I watched that movie, I'm just like, this disgusts me. The fact this movie exists, for one, disgusts me. The fact it won Best Picture makes me lose faith in humanity. Like, humanity should think about what we have done. Our next questions come from Super Mario Fan 03. His first one is, do you think/hope Marvel and Star Wars will be in Kingdom Hearts 3? I don't think they should be in it because they're already in Disney Infinity. I will say if Big Hero 6 was in it, I would be so down for that. Not sure I want an Avengers level though. I don't know. There's too many characters. You need a few characters and then one of them to be your sidekick. I will say I want Star Wars to be in there for one reason. And one reason only. Lightsaber Keyblade. Tell me you don't want a lightsaber Keyblade. Wouldn't that be amazing? Oh, I want it now. And the second question is, have you seen/heard of the anime H2O Footprints in the Sand? If you haven't, you should see it. It'll make you cry. I haven't seen it, but if it'll make me cry, it is now very high on my radar, because I like animes like that. I like depressing animes. I loved Your Lie in April. Of course I'm going to like that. And the last question is, what does the fox say? And the fox says, fire! Or, what do you say? I don't know what Fox McCloud says. Does Fox McCloud have lines? Like, I know he had lines. I played Star Fox 64 more than anything. Does he say things? Like, does he have a line that everyone's like, oh yeah, Fox said that? No, it's mainly Peppy. I can tell you what the hair says. That I can. Our next question is from 123 Rock Fan, and his question is sort of a personal question, but has a particular movie ever changed your opinion or viewpoint on something? Yes. Yes, I forgot to bring it up when I was talking feature film documentaries. Two in particular kill me, and that is The Cove and Blackfish. I used to be a big fan of SeaWorld, but I saw those movies. I am so against things like that now. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a member of PETA because they're terrorists. They are terrorists. If you're a member of PETA, you should be in jail. But watching those movies disgusted me. Like, I was just like, this happens. This happens. Like, it is ridiculous. If you think it's okay to do what we do to, like, marine mammals, like, with SeaWorld and stuff, watch those movies, and then tell me you agree. Our next question comes from one of my very good subs, Mr. Weepin' Blade. He says, any tips for those who want to start reviews of their own? I have one big one. You know, there's all the other ones, like be yourself. Yeah, be quality. Yeah, but my biggest one is go. Go. Just start. You're going to suck in the beginning. Who cares? Everyone sucks in the beginning, but the thing is you can't overthink it. You can't overthink it. I was supposed to start this channel when Man of Steel came out. Like, and I regret that, like, every day. I regret it every day not starting it earlier, because every day that passes that you aren't doing your thing is another day that subscribers can't subscribe to you. Like, if you start tomorrow, you will not have gotten as many subscribers had you started yesterday. You know what I mean? So just start. Okay, the next question comes from Aaron Saldana, and he says, what movie do you feel did not deserve an R rating? And I didn't really feel this way about a lot of movies until I literally just looked it up. I had no idea this movie was rated R, and it is one of my favorite movies of all time, When Harry Met Sally. That movie is rated R. And I looked up the reason, and it's because of the orgasm scene in the diner. And it's not a real one if you haven't seen it. It's literally her just eating some stuff, and she's like, oh, that's tasty. That's tasty, and she makes noises. I'm like kind of shocked right now. Like I like the R rating just because I don't like it keeps the kids out, and I don't like kids in movie theaters, but that's ridiculous to me. Like I think the R rating is overused just because I don't think words are offensive. I really don't. You can say anything to me and I won't find it offensive. There's not a single word I find offensive except like, I don't know, like Johnny Depp, but that's it. Next question comes from H. Hudson, a very awesome subscriber of mine, and he says, if you built a time machine in your spare time, what time in history would you go back to visit, and which famous person would you like to meet? Time in history I'd like to go visit it sounds cliche. Like I know I could go like visit Abraham Lincoln times or something like that, but I want to go to the original Star Wars premiere. Yeah, I want to be in a theater for the first time where people saw Star Wars. I want to be in the Empire Strikes Back theater when Luke found out Darth Vader was his father, because that was like the biggest twist of ever. Like just out of nowhere. I want to be in that theater for that reaction. As far as famous person I'd like to meet, Charlie Chaplin. Like I love Charlie Chaplin. He's one of my favorite actors, and he invigorated love for silent film in me. So yeah, I'd say I'd like to meet him. He seemed like a nice old chap. Our next question comes from the very lovely Miss Francesca from Cinema Darling, who is also my wife, and she has an amazing channel you should check out. That wife thing was a joke, by the way. You guys take things literally, so it's not Hi! Anyways, she has questions. Her first one is, has your passion for film always been there your entire life? If not, where did your passion for film come about? That's what she actually sounds like. That's why you should visit her channel. She sounds like a bad Jason Statham impression. It's amazing. But I love that question because my passion for film honestly wasn't always there. It was actually something more recent than you'd think, because it happened around maybe 5-6 years ago when I was back in high school. And what really happened is I watched the original Die Hard. I watched the original Die Hard, and that thing set me on a path that I just... that thing got me into movies in general, because I watched the original Die Hard and I'm like, that was amazing. And that was around the time I realized Netflix streaming was a thing. Then I started watching all these different movies and so many other movies. Like Inception is a big one for me that made me realize, oh hey, this is a blockbuster that makes you think. Those are good too. Then we see movies like Casablanca, where those make me appreciate movies more, especially Charlie Chaplin films. I brought him up. He just grew this incredible love for me inside for older films, and especially for silent films. So I'd say if it weren't for John McClane saving Nakatomi Plaza, I wouldn't be here. So thank you, John McClane. I'm still not forgiving you for that thing you did a few years ago, though. Her next question is, what franchises of theaters, Regal, AMC, Cinemark, etc. are near you, and which one is the best? I actually have all those near me. I'd say AMC is definitely the best, and that's not just because I want to work on AMC Movie Talk someday, just because I love AMC with a passion. I have an AMC I go to all the time. It's gotten to the point where they started recognizing me. Like, they've recognized me as cool shirt guy, because I have a lot of cool shirts. I would win Best Dressed if we had a Best Dressed competition, but AMC is definitely my favorite. Then Cinemark, because I have a Century Theater in Boulder is a Cinemark, and they get so much indie films, like, and they get them early. That's why I love Century so much, because they get those movies early, so I go and see them a lot. And then Regal, their screens never work. They have nice chairs sometimes, but their screens never work. Then her third question is, what is the longest movie you've ever watched? I'd have to compare times, but it's either Gone with the Wind or Dr. Zhivago. I don't know which one's longer, but it's definitely one of those, and I saw Dr. Zhivago in theaters. That was amazing, but it's one of those two. I know Gone with the Wind is the longest movie I've ever seen, twice. Then her fourth question is, should wifey watch Django Unchained, Memento, or Fight Club first? The answer to that is easy. It is Django. Why? Because Django is the greatest thing to ever shine down upon cinema, ever. If you haven't seen that episode of A Few Mixed Brackets where we talk about Django Unchained for like 40 minutes, you're missing out. Our next question is from the Skull Chaser 16. His question is, what is your favorite anime of all time? You see this mug here? That's an Angel Beats mug. Angel Beats is life. Angel Beats is love. I love Angel Beats. That's perfect series to me. It is my favorite anime of all time. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is an incredibly close second. But Angel Beats for me is something I've seen so many times. It's only 13 episodes. If you haven't seen Angel Beats, it's 13 episodes. You can watch it in an afternoon. I've seen it like 13 times. I have a wall scroll of it right there. Right there. So I wake up to them every morning. Do you have that dedication in your life? I don't think you do. So my next question is from this random guy no one's ever heard of called Ryan Jacob. I'm just kidding. Everyone should have heard of Ryan Jacob because he's amazing. I love him. He's so cute. He just Facebook messaged me. Now, that's how cute he is. But anyways, he asked like a million questions. And his first one is, could you explain why Gunman and Mordecai are such masterpieces? Just, knowing what you are, the Gunman knew it was a serious movie, so it decided to be ridiculously stupid and funny all the time in Looney Tunes. And Mordecai decided to cast Johnny Depp. They are masterpieces of bad, I will say that. They are masterpieces of bad. His second question is, what is some recent anime that you recommended and why? Well, the most recent one is Your Lie in April, because I loved that show to death. Like, with major passion, I love that show. Other than that, I haven't actually watched a lot of recent anime. The one I just keep recommending people is Fullmetal Alchemist. Like, if you haven't seen Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, that anime is amazing, but watch Fullmetal Alchemist first. It's so good. The third one is, how do you grow your beard so fast? Well, basically, I sit down, I get a Slim Jim, and I watch The Expendables 2, and it happens. It's testosterone, I guess. I got more. It's just, it goes, you just go, like you're taking a poop, but you don't take a poop. That's it. This fourth question is, what Marvel film are you looking forward to most besides Age of Ultron? Spider-Panther? I'm actually not looking forward to Spider-Panther. I am, but Doctor Strange is the one I'm super hyped for, just because it's so different. It is so different. You got Scott Derrickson, who is a horror director, so I have a feeling it's going to have a lot of that in it, because Doctor Strange is supernatural. We brought the superheroes in, then we brought the cosmics in, the galaxy quest in with Guardians, and now we're bringing in the supernatural. I love that. I think Cumberbatch is perfect for that role. I'm so excited for Doctor Strange, I can't even begin to say. And his fifth question is, with the Justice League slowly coming together, what are your thoughts on the Lex Luthor and Aquaman photos? Aquaman looks like terrifying. I would not want to screw with him, and I love that. So many people are complaining. You all joke about Aquaman. You all just joke about how stupid he is in his little gold costume talking to fish. Then when we see him look cool, you complain. You complain that you want stupid old one back. Come on. As far as Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor, I think at the point, he looks the part perfectly. I think he needs to... It's his acting that I'm not worried about it as much at this point. I think he needs to do something with his voice, because Jesse Eisenberg is not a threatening person, so he'll need to kind of up that ante. And his sixth question is, with Frozen 2 coming out, what would you like to see in the sequel? I want to see, fire. I honestly thought the twist ending in Frozen was going to be that Anna had firepower to turn everything into, warm. And I think that should be it. I think it should just be the exact polar opposite. It should just be too hot this time. Sure. Then his seventh and last question is, why do you hate my Vita so much? Because no one has a Vita, Ryan, and there's no games for the Vita. Go to Best Buy, look at all the games. That's all the games for the Vita. There's that many. There's that many games for the Vita. The Vita ain't got no games. It is the Flareon of handheld game systems. This thing's got games. And my next question comes from a few mixed reviews. I don't know who that is. I think he's just some jerk. I don't know. That's Chase Bio. That's a joke. I know him. We're friends. But anyways, he asks, why am I such an evil person? I wish I knew. Because if I knew, that would be the first step to helping you. Because you need help, Chase, mister. The Departed sucks. I hate Forrest Gump. Die Hard is garbage. You need therapeutic help. So much so, I'm making a movie this summer about a therapist and helping a blind guy. If I wasn't so set on naming that blind guy James, I would call him Chase. My next question comes from Nagisa Kurosaki. I hope I got that right. His first question is favorite DBZ character. It is so hard for me to pick between Goku and Vegeta, because I love Goku, and if I was a Dragon Ball Z character, I'd want to be Goku. But Vegeta is just so amazing, especially in the new movie. And apparently he's going to be super hype in the next Frieza movie. So it's so hard to choose Gogeta. I'll choose Gogeta because he is a fusion between both of them, which means I don't need to make hard decisions. Then his second question is, what is the worst movie you have ever seen? You guys will just have to find out about that later, because my worst movie ever review should be coming out soon. I want to say soon. The only reason it's not come out is because I don't want to watch the movie. I keep on putting it off. I'm like, I do not want to watch that movie again, but that'll come out. Just get excited because the intro for it is incredible. And his last question is, who is your main character to use in Super Smash Bros. 4? I really don't have a main this time around. I used to have a main. Like, I remember in the original Smash, I think I stick with Mario. In Melee, I'm a Captain Falcon guy, and in Brawl, I'm all about Sonic. But in this new game, there's so many good ones. I'd say probably Shulk, because I love Shulk so much. So it's either Shulk or still Captain Falcon, because Captain Falcon's amazing. Our next batch of questions comes from a fan of the show who's been a fan of the show for a very long while. I'm talking about the Pokey Kid. I love this guy. He has a lot of them. Going to answer all of them. His first one is, who are your mains in Smash Brothers? I kind of says Shulk. I main Shulk a lot. Robin. I still love Sonic, and honestly, Lucina. Lucina is really huge for me. I'm actually really good with Lucina for some reason, which is crazy because I still complain about her getting in instead of Chrom, but at the same time, how can I complain because I love playing as her so much? So I'd say a lot of those guys, Sonic still and Captain Falcon, but you know, I wear Captain Falcon on my shirt, I might as well say him. His next question is, what was the first song you learned how to play by ear? I don't think I learned how to play songs by ear. Like, I'm not that good a musician. I'll say the first song I ever learned on guitar was No More Sorrow by Linkin Park, because I used to go through that phase. I was in my Hot Topic phase at one point, and that song is actually awesome. Old Linkin Park is still awesome, people. It's still cool to like old Linkin Park, but yeah, that was the first song I learned. Next question is, what is one property, series, or license you wish to see turned into a film, cartoon, or video game if you want? I'll say a property I really want to see turn into an anime is Fire Emblem. I really want to see a Fire Emblem anime. I think that would be really good. Also, a Xenoblade anime. I think a Xenoblade Chronicles anime would be fantastic. As far as films go, I actually had this idea a little while ago. I know I said Bioshock Infinite, and I still stand by Bioshock Infinite. I really like Bioshock Infinite, and I'd love to see it as a film, but a film I'd really like to see, and I'd like to see this before Nintendo does any other movies, is Metroid. Because I think Metroid could be the new Alien. You know, it could have that fear quality, it could have that horror aspect, but it could also be like that thing the sci-fi genre needs. It's got space pirates in it. Everyone's always like, we need more awesome female protagonists. Samus is the awesome female protagonist. I have her right there. Look at her. You don't want to see that going into the movie and screwing space pirates up? I want to see that. Really bad, too. Spin off of that one, what figures of characters do you wish you could buy an amiibo of? Oh, Canada! That question, this question is the reason I get sad sometimes that some characters will never be in Smash, because we'll never have their amiibos. The biggest one for me is Chrom. I want a Chrom amiibo so bad. So bad. I hope Shovel Knight gets into the game, because I would love a Shovel Knight amiibo to death. Also, if we're talking more things that couldn't happen, because things like Shovel Knight could happen. Chrom could happen, which, by the way, if you're not voting Shovel Knight on that Smash ballot, you're doing it wrong. Shadow the Hedgehog I voted for, but as far as people who aren't Nintendo, I want to see a Sora one. A Sora amiibo would be awesome, even though I already have that figure. But I want a Sora amiibo anyway. His next question is, what would be your dream project for you to complete? A lot of people will be like, oh, big space epic. For me, I've been writing a screenplay. I wrote a screenplay a little while ago, and after that, I've been writing this other one for years now. Like, it's been years. I started this thing in my junior year of high school. Now I'm like, 2 years out of high school? So it's like, this one's been in the works for a while. It's a movie about a guy who wants to be a stand-up comic again. He quit doing stand-up, and his life kind of went like right down the drain. And it's really about him just wanting to do it again and falling in love and stuff. That's really, it's called Is This It? And that's probably my favorite thing I've written that I haven't completed yet, because I actually really, really like the idea behind it. I hate directing movies, so I wouldn't think it would ever come to fruition, but if we're talking dream sequences here, then I'd say Is This It would be coming to a theater near you. Although, if I had to go epic, space epic, I would say Metroid again. Metroid would make an awesome movie. That's all I'm gonna say. Then his last one is, do you have any weird Target stories that won't get you fired? I don't know what I should say. I will say the hardest question I've ever had to answer is, where's your Frozen stuff? And not like, milk or stuff or ice cream. They mean like Frozen stuff, like from the movie, and I was like, that's everywhere. That's everywhere here. Did you see how much that movie made? I don't know. I don't have as much weird story. I have good ones. I have bad ones. It's just, retail can be difficult sometimes, and sometimes it can be not difficult. I ate a cookie the other day. That was fun. Another day, a lady called asking about tissues and yelling at me. That was the opposite of fun. So, yeah. Our next questions come from Miss Mango Movies, and her first one is, out of all the movies to come out in the last few years, which one do you think will go on to become enduring classics in the next 20, 50, or even 100 years? The big one I think people are going to remember forever is the Lego Movie. I know that sounds weird, but I already think that movie is a classic, because animations become classics. We all love Toy Story. I think Lego Movie has that ability. I think it has the ability to skyrocket to that fame. I also think Frozen does. We all love it. I don't, because I don't find it cool to just bitch and moan about Frozen all day. But I think that Frozen, we're going to look back on it in 10 years and be like, oh, why are Disney movies used to be good like Frozen? Because we always like to have something to complain about, and we always like to look to the past instead of to the future. But I think Lego Movie and Frozen are going to be the two that really go by. Also, Whiplash. I think Whiplash will stay in people's hearts for a long while. I think Whiplash will be one of those movies where it's like, film buffs will be like, you haven't seen Whiplash? What? How? Like, Whiplash, definitely. I'd even throw Nightcrawler in that same batch, but I think, if I'm just talking about on the top of my head, I think those ones are just destined for glory. The next question is, top 5 Tom Hanks movies. Tom Hanks has done so many good movies. I'll name 5 off the top of my head. Saving Private Ryan will always be number 1 in my heart and in the people's hearts. Let me actually think about it for a second. Okay, I got some for you. So number 1 will always and forever be Saving Private Ryan. Then number 2, I'm going to throw the entire Toy Story trilogy, just to be fair to other movies. Toy Story, the trilogy. I'm going to throw The Green Mile in there. The Green Mile is a movie I love to death. That's a perfect movie in my eyes. 10 out of 10, best game. It's on par with Shawshank Redemption in my mind. Another one is Catch Me If You Can, and probably Road to Perdition. I'll say those ones. Then the third question is, weirdest movie you've ever seen? I've seen a lot of weird movies. I'll say a weird movie that I hated was Only God Forgives. Like, Ram's gonna hate me for that because it's artistic, but it's more weird to me. It's just like, what are you doing? Stop, please. What? Stop it! But, oh wait, no, The Room. The Room is the weirdest movie I've ever seen, because I think people don't look at it the same way I do. When people look at The Room as a bad movie, I look at it as a brilliant film about a robot trying his best to be human. The Room. Oh my god, that movie's so strange, but I love it. I own it on DVD, it's good. It's bad actually, it's terrible, but it's good. And then our last question comes from Aiden Weems, and he says, are you ever going to do a top 10 of your favorite movies? No. That list is always changing. It's impossible, because you have so many movies, you're like, well, that movie's better than that one, but I like this one better. It's way too hard. It's easier. I can give you my top, friggin' 3, which is, Tommy Boy is my favorite movie of all time. Star Wars is my second, just in general Star Wars. And then my third is Jurassic Park. So yeah, guys, those are all the questions you asked me. You asked me some awesome questions. I had a ton of fun doing this. Once again, thank you so very much for getting me to 600 subs. That is incredible that we are at 600, and we're going to add a new goal. Our new goal is 700 subscribers. Get us to 700 subscribers. Share the channel. Share the show. Do whatever you got to do to get us to 700 subs, and we will do another one of these. Thank you all so much, and stay classy.